Hello.
Get everything set up here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You?
Well, I just ran back from the library so I could vote absentee. So that was an adventure, but success. So that's a good thing. Good thing. I'll have to worry about that tomorrow now. Get everything set up here. Ethan's here. Hello, Ethan. Welcome. With those Pear Deck slides today, so if you want to save 30 seconds. Hi, Kellen. Hi, Alex. Cameron. Jack. And Gabby. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Let's start it here in just a bit. Just about everybody here. I'll keep letting people in. How we doing? Telling Trevor he got here first. I just ran over from the library, but not the school library, the Clayton City Library, until I could cast my absentee ballot, and I waited almost 2 hours. So I think it's actually a good sign, believe it or not. I'm not complaining, but I wanted to make sure that I got back for all of you today. So welcome. Our plan for the day, albeit a short time together today. I've got a new check-in. We haven't done this one before. It's called, of all things, mindful yawning. It's actually a thing. I've got a couple of practice problems that we can take a look at. They connect, not surprisingly, to food webs and interspecies feeding relationships. So a couple of practice problems around those. If we have time, I've got really a third problem from a released AP exam that we could take a look at. If not, it will always be there for practice. And then my hope is we can end class together today with a moment of silence. Because the next time we see each other, we will have crossed the Rubicon, right? We'll know something. We'll know anything about the future of the country. Maybe we won't, but it's going to be a while until we see each other. So that is the plan for the day, at least. A quick thing before I forget, tomorrow morning, you're going to get a text with the asynchronous assignment for Wednesday. Please be careful with the wording I just used. You're going to get the text tomorrow for the assignment on Wednesday. I just did that in case you wanted to work on it tomorrow. Altogether, it should take you no more than 40 minutes. There'll be no homework Tuesday or Wednesday night. So please keep that in mind. And that'll just give you a chance to get a head start or knock it out tomorrow if you'd like, so that you don't have to worry about anything for this class on Wednesday. Technically, you don't have school tomorrow anyway, so you don't have to work on it, but it will be there for Wednesday when you're ready. And it deals with food webs, of course. So that is the plan until we see each other again, albeit across Zoom. So our check-in, it's really quick. It's really easy. Again, it's called mindful yawning. I would encourage you to stand up if you can, but if you can't, you can do this sitting down. And it begins much like we did a lot of the activities last week, just with a slow, deep breath. Just allowing yourself to come into the moment. And I am going to go off camera because I'm going to stand up. But what you want to try to do, and you can literally fake it until you make it, is just try to yawn until you elicit a real yawn. And as you're doing this, or when you actually do your yawn, see if you notice what's going on inside of your body. Pay attention on purpose. Don't just focus on the yawn. Try to focus on everything that's going on inside of your body. So I'll just give you a minute to do this. And again, I'm going to go off camera so I can do it as well. So I wasn't able to get a yawn out that time, but maybe you were. I'd love to know. Thumbs up, thumbs down, something in the chat. I'm always curious. Um, whether you did or didn't doesn't really matter. I hope you noticed what was going on inside of your body while you were trying, or if you were successful. For me, I noticed that my body kind of sank a little bit. I kind of let go. My weight kind of shifted into my feet, almost like I was relaxing a little bit more so than I was before. So that's what I noticed. Maybe you noticed something similar. Maybe you didn't, and that's okay. I will say just briefly that biologists don't even really know why we yawn. We still don't know. What we do know, though, is it's not to increase oxygen flow to our brain. It's a pretty common myth that's out there. But we do know there are some positive effects associated with yawning. I put a few of those up on the slide if you want to take a look. And I would encourage you the rest of today, Tuesday and Wednesday, when we're not seeing each other, but you're working on something for school or not for school, to just try this out and see if it gives you a chance to refocus, to give you a little bit more energy, or maybe just to relax a bit before you tackle that next thing in your day. Really, so many of these check-ins, right, are just an opportunity for us to pause and notice, right? And then maybe even name what's going on inside of our bodies or inside of our minds. So it's a brief one, but it might be a powerful one, and I would encourage you to play around with it a bit if you're interested. Alrighty. Well, the practice problem actually is on the next 2 slides, really the next 3 slides. So I'll give you control of the slides here in just a second. I'm going to encourage you to read the paragraphs to familiarize yourself with the scenario. And there's one question on each of the next 2 slides. When it says on the back of the page, obviously you don't have a paper handout, so it's on the next slide. That's really for question number 2. But I want to give you a few minutes here to read the scenario, study the figure, of course, and then to put together your best answers to these 2 questions. And again, this is all in the spirit of practice. And I'm here to answer any clarifying questions that you might have while you are working. Here we go. Responses so far look really nice. Try to be as specific as you possibly can in your answer. So if there's cougars present, right, a high trophic level predator, secondary or even tertiary consumer, what are they doing within the system that leads to the change in cottonwood tree density? I love the use of statistically significant. How do you know, though? What evidence are you using to support that part of your claim? Yes. Fewer deer. Yes. Decrease the predator on the mule deer. Increase the number of mule deer. Cottonwood trees get eaten. Density decreases over time. Lots of good stuff is popping up. Well done. You may have noticed the R² value. Obviously, that value is not describing a linear relationship in this case, but I think there certainly is a correlation, a strong relationship between the two variables, which we had the critical values, but we don't in this case. And if you get to question 2, there's no back of the page, it's just on the next slide. That's where the food web image is located. Obviously, is not one correct answer to number 2. It's all going to depend on which species you choose. Take about 2 more minutes to wrap up your writing with the understanding that you can always circle back. Look at this again if you'd like to. the sheep looking things. I love that. I think they're supposed to be like mountain goats. Try to wrap up your answer writing. We'll just put a punctuation mark on class here in these last few minutes. All right, I'm going to take you out of student mode just so we can look at the same thing at the same time. What you just did with those two practice problems is explore what we're going to be looking at, well, really when we're not together over these next couple of days. When you look at a living system like the one depicted in this scenario, there's really two different ways through which you can influence the system over the course of time. You can influence it in a top-down manner, where a high-level predator like the cougar can influence the system from a top-down, talking of course about trophic levels, right? A higher trophic level to a lower trophic level. But of course, it's also possible to influence system from a bottom-up perspective. That's what's on the next slide here. Okay, so whether it's top-down or bottom-up, you can really influence the system almost like through a cascade of effects by simply interfering with or interrupting the number of a particular species or how successful that particular species is in that particular environment over the course of time. So when we're not together for these next couple of days, you're going to have a choice of two different case studies to explore. You do not need to do both of them. Okay, this is what the link is that you're going to receive tomorrow morning will include. And they're going to give you a chance to explore top-down and bottom-up trophic cascade. So if I interfere, remove, add a new species, well, where is that species exerting its influence? Is it at a high trophic level? Then it's probably going to influence the system from a top-down perspective. Of course, if that species is introduced at a lower trophic level, it's probably going to influence the system in a bottom-up manner. So you get to choose which of those two case studies that you want to explore. There is a short Google form that goes along with each one of them, no matter which one you choose. That's how I'm going to know that you actually took a look at one of the two case studies. Okay, so that's really the plan until we get back together again on, on Thursday, which seems like a long time away. And literally, if you missed it at the beginning of class, because look, at that point, we will have crossed the Rubicon and we'll know something about the future in so many different ways, right? All right, so that is the plan for the next couple of days. I, of course, will be available by email or remind or however you need to come in contact with me. Please reach out. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. But before you leave today, if you would, I would encourage you, no matter what you're going to do next, just take a moment. Remember to breathe. Maybe you'll find yourself doing that a couple times in the next few days as well. Find a position, take 3 deep breaths. And as soon as you've done so, that's your exit slip. You're welcome to sign off, and I'll see you on Thursday. Be well, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.